We would like to thank your sponsor, Valley First, a division of First West Credit Union and a member-owned financial cooperative serving the Okanagan, Similkameen, and Thompson regions. They offer a wide range of banking and investment services for individuals and families. Valley First also has a talented business and commercial team to provide the expertise, products, and services local businesses need to grow and thrive.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Business Matters presented by Valley First, a division of First West Credit Union. My name is Rob Capello, and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Now Media Group. Today, we welcome Anthony Beyrouti to Business Matters. Anthony is the founder of Orchard Park Properties, as well as the founder and president of Venue Kings Ticket Brokers. And in your spare time, you're a basketball coach.
Do a little bit of basketball, yeah. And co-founder of Orchard Park with Brianna O'Meal as well, yeah.
So you got a lot on the go. From ticket sales to building what I read is the tallest tower in the BC interior, you have a lot on your plate. So thank you so much for joining us today and looking forward to our discussion. So thanks for taking the time to hop on the call. So
gladly, anytime.
So before we jump into real estate, I'm intrigued to learn a little bit about Venue Kings, and then we'll talk about the tower that we see behind you in the picture. So Venue Kings, to simplify, you buy and sell tickets for concerts and sporting events. And I'm wondering, how did you get into this business? Like, how did that all start and come about?
Yeah, I started with the Grizzlies back in 2002. It was the last year the Grizzlies were in town. I was in high school, wanted to go to games, never really had any money. So we got groups together. There was an ad for 50% off. So I got a bunch of groups together, got a bunch of friends to go. And then I would break even on all the games, but I'd get a free ticket. So that was kind of cool. And then the last game, nobody wanted to go. So I had these extra tickets, and it was Steve Francis coming back to Vancouver after demanding a trade from the Grizzlies the year before. And so it was a big ticket, but for whatever reason, all my friends were busy. And so I called one of the guys who used to buy tickets from me when I had leftovers, and he offered me $40 for a $28 ticket. And I was like, oh, he just offered me more than me. And so I told him, give me 45 and they're yours. And he said, sure. And then I said, do you want any more? He said, sure, I'll take whatever you got. Called the lady at the team. She gave me another 20. Before you knew it, I was making 17 bucks times 35 tickets, and I was rich. So that was the beginning of the whole thing.
And so I would assume it's a fairly competitive space, or am I wrong? Like, I hear that, the big
the most competitive. Yeah, very extraordinarily competitive internationally. 95% of our business is in America. So we're dealing with very well-funded, very competitive, technology savvy, very sharp people.
So what makes you different? I mean, because you're successful from what I see. So how did you?
Technology. We went heavy into technology at an early time in the company. Our processing capabilities was good. We invested in some technology companies down in the States at the right time. And then we were good pickers. We picked the right teams, and I've known a lot about sports for a long time, and we've picked the right teams quite a bit. So, it's just, you just got to find a way to grind it out and stay efficient. And, obviously pandemic's been tough, but we're starting to see America open up again. And so we're starting to get a lot of action. So it's been good.
So that was my next question is the last 12 months, like, you sit in the corner going, what the heck's going on? You got a business where you're selling tickets for concerts and sporting events, and there's no events going on. So what did that all, how did
God bless America. They actually have stayed open. We still sell a lot of tickets in America. This coming week, we'll have our first big sporting event with full capacity down there. We probably won't have fans in events till like 2036 in Canada, probably, but in America they're open and they're ready to go, and so we're starting to see quite a bit of pickup. And obviously it hasn't been fun the last little bit, but you know what? It just makes you tougher, and you gotta fight through it and figure it out.
What event is it that's full capacity?
Texas Rangers baseball will be full capacity, and then Canelo Alvarez is having a fight with 60,000. In May, and then UFC is fighting in Jacksonville with full capacity. So you're getting a little bit of everything, and you'll see baseball. Baseball will lead the way. You'll see probably a dozen baseball teams by the end of April that'll probably start doing full capacity, would be my guess.
Right. Interesting. So your president.
And we're not even allowed to play baseball. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, here it's a whole different ballgame. So you're president of Venue Kings for 11 years, over 11 years. You got a successful company. You wake up one day and you say, I'm going to build a 3-tower development in Kelowna. Like, how did that come about? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more complicated, but right idea. So, through my real estate agent in Kelowna, Dino Gini and Luigi works with them. Over the course of 3 years, we put together the lots there. We had originally targeted something on Bernard, but the city said, they didn't really want to develop Bernard, and it wasn't really a focus. So they said, try something over there. That's kind of a joke, I think. Probably they were probably laughing at me in the back, but we then, the August family had been in that location for about 40 years, and they put their stuff up for sale. We purchased it and then slowly accumulated it, and then just it's timing. We put it all together. We've always had a vision of building something there and finding the right thing. And so I partnered up with Apriano, who's got a history of building lots of high rises in Vancouver, in San Diego, in Los Angeles. He bought in and we're going full steam ahead. We brought on local marketing company, Ace Marketing. They have a huge history of selling Kelowna real estate, and I've known them for a really long time because they used to do it in North Van as well, where I live. Okay. And so we kind of put the whole package together. When we knew we needed something spectacular, so we built 43,000. We're going to build 43,000 square feet of amenity space. It'll be unparalleled in the area. And then on top of it, we're building the highest building in the city, between Surrey and Calgary. So, we needed something special here. The city deserves something special here. And we, the councilors gave us the green light to get going, and we've been going full steam ahead, every single day since.
So the development we're talking about is Water Street by the Park. That's the name if people that are tuning in. And what stage are you at right now? Where are we at with the whole development? What stage are we at?
Yeah, so we're hoping to go on sale, in the next, month or two kind of deal. We're pushing it as hard as we possibly can. We have our development permit, and then we're working towards our building permit. Okay. We're finalizing all the details, getting the pricing done, floor plans, all that stuff. It's pretty much all done. We're grinding it all together. We're rebuilding the sales center. We're going to do it right on the August Motors lot there, down on the site, redoing the entire area. So that starts the transformation of the area. And we're going as fast as humanly possible to get this thing done at a highest quality level possible. And, our signups at waterstreetbythepark.com have been through the roof. People told me no one in Kelowna would buy this. And the exact opposite has been true. People in Kelowna they've been like, because they know, the people in Kelowna are the ones who know this is the best location in the city if you do it right. If you build the right spot, it's right there. It's close to the water. You're 1 block from the park. You're 1 block from the water. You're 1 block from Bernard. You got all the things that you could possibly want. It's not like they're not going to let you build a gigantic high rise at the bottom of Bernard. No. So this is the closest you're getting with what we're building, and it's going to be something that people will remember forever.
Who do you see as the buyers? Is it investors? Is it young couples, right sizers? Like what do you see in the mix?
Honestly, we've seen it all. One of the things people told me is nobody wants 3 bedrooms. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Our 3-bedroom interest has been through the roof because people see that the views are coming. The picture behind me is a side angle of the 3-bedroom overlooking the water with the bridge. We have one side of the 3 bedrooms is overlooking the bridge with the water. The other side is overlooking the marina with the water. So you can't lose. It's just winning on both sides there. So we've got that. There is investors, obviously. People, investors want the 1 bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms, but we're even seeing some investors say they want the 3 bedrooms. So we're seeing a little bit of out of town stuff. We're seeing a little bit of in town stuff. We're seeing across Canada. Our social media campaign is really it's taken off pretty. I think it'd be tough to live in the area and not have seen something on social media if you go on there. We're hammering it pretty good, and the signups have been through the roof. And I think there's a chance that we're going to run out of units. There's just not going to be enough of them for the amount of demand that we have right now because Kelowna's on fire, and and people want to move there, right? The word's getting out that Kelowna is not, it's not a, like somebody told me this little city, and I said, I hate to break it to you guys. You got the fastest growing community college in the country. You've got one of the fastest growing universities in the country. You've got one of the fastest growing airports in the country. You've got the best wineries in the world. You've got a beautiful lake, which, you've got 4 seasons, which people want the seasons. You've got, like, I can just keep going. Like, how long you got? So realistically, people, it's not a small town anymore. People are coming in droves. They want to come, and they need somewhere nice to live. And we're essentially offering people a resort style living experience in a nice, trendy high rise down in the downtown core. That's the other thing. People do want to live downtown. Sure. The narrative is that historically that's not what people have been about in Kelowna, but these people are coming from Toronto, they're coming from Vancouver, they're coming from Abbotsford, they're coming from Surrey, they're coming from Calgary, and they want to live downtown. They want the life of walking around the city. They want to walk, they want to bike, and they want the amenities. We've got, every golf simulator, workout room overlooking the lake, a pool, 365 days a year, workspace, anything you could possibly think of. Dog run, everybody cares about their dogs, so we gave them a place for that. So anyway, I could keep going.
I love it. I love it. Where are you at with price? Like, do you know where the starting at pricing will be, or is that still in the works?
We're looking at the mid 300s, in the 300s for starting pricing. So very reasonable. We're not hammering people over the head on this thing. Now, obviously, if you want the penthouse, you're going to have to pay for that. But if you just want to get in the building, I think we've got an opportunity for a lot of people to be able to get in here. But pricing's not out yet. We're hoping that'll be out in the next, let's call it the next little bit. I'll say a little bit.
And it all takes time for sure. So do you have a connection to Kelowna, or you visited? Like, where?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, my family's done Peachland for, since I was a little kid. We'd go camping. Kelowna visits from, Kelowna is extraordinarily well known with people from the Lower Mainland, right? We all know about Kelowna. We've all been to Kelowna. We've all done Kelowna. Because it's fun, it's enjoyable. The summers are fantastic. The winters have the beautiful mountains. So I've been doing that my whole life. Same with Apriano, right? He grew up, down by the water, coming down here, hanging out. So the two of us are very connected with the city. And then recently, I remember right when they redid the waterway, and they put, the cactus in there. They put the nice place where people go skating right in the middle there in the winter. I was just like, oh my goodness, this is the place to be. And then when the university came, we've got a big announcement coming with the university, and the university came. I think it totally just skyrocketed everything, because when you can take a UBC degree, and then you can also add an affordable cost of living of Kelowna, and you can add the number 2 unemployment city in the whole country. Yeah. So people can go to this university and they can get a job right away, and they don't have to pay $7 million for a house. It becomes very attractive very quickly. And so as somebody from the Lower Mainland, I've always known about it, and now we can share it with the world.
Interesting. So, I mean, I think I know the answer, but there's a few new developments that are happening in the market in the Okanagan. Do you feel like, there's going to be too much product, or is it just because there's so many eyeballs of people looking in the Okanagan, you can't build fast enough and not enough?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, realistically, people love to say there's too much product. There's not even close. It's not even a, you look at what's happening right now, people are bidding on housing, and they're losing to 12 other buyers, right? Like there's multiple bids on stuff. The apartment market is going to heat up here pretty soon. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of action with the apartments. They've already started to go up. But realistically, if you look at downtown core, close to the water, we're the only people. There's nobody else that's doing what we're doing. Are people building at the end of Bernard at the back there? Yeah, for sure they are. Do they have some nice stuff? Absolutely. Are they a block from the water? No. There's some other product coming, in other parts of town, and those are great too. But for us specifically, we're right there in the heart of it. And so we think that'll be a big differentiator for sure.
So one thing I found unique is I was looking, there's what makes you guys different, and you've listed off lots of reasons, but the one thing that really stood out was really neat. You mentioned there's going to be 566 bicycle parking stalls, and that really caught my eye. Where did that idea come from? Like, where does that, I understand it's the walkability of being downtown, but where did that come from?
People need a place to put their bikes. We think that area is perfect for a nice bike ride along the water. We think people will want to, whether it's skateboarding or biking or, rollerblade. I'm a rollerblade guy. So, whether it's a rollerblade, whatever it is, people are going to want to get around that area. And so they need places to keep their bikes, and they need a place to keep them safe. And so we've got, security, we've got safety. We want to make everything about safety. And so we've done that. And then we want to make it about accessibility and movement, and people need to move around. And I think as Kelowna, that's the big challenge for Kelowna going forward, is finding ways to, transit, having people use transit, getting people out of their cars, and not have to drive everywhere, making it easy for people to get out of their cars. Because one of the things is your car is easy. So can we make it easy for people to do something else instead? So bikes was a natural thing, and it's a good spot for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I've been seeing a few of the renderings, like the one behind you and other ones, and it's stunning. Like, I love the look. How involved are you in the design? Like, I'm wondering, how do you leave it to the experts, or are you kind of involved in that side of it as well?
Yeah, no, Operato and I are right in there every step of the way. We had our architect the other day. He told us, he asked us if we would ever just leave him alone and go golfing. And we said, no, we're not golfing right now. We'll golf later. We got to build the buildings first. So no, we're in there right away. We're picking all the different things. We're finding all the little details. Whether it's, you got to move this wall, or you got to move that wall, or what type of kitchen are we using? I've been to every sales center in this town for other buildings to kind of see what the go-to stuff is, what people like. I've Googled, my Google is, if it ever got tired, it would be for me looking up different buildings. So we've between Operato and myself, we've gone out of our way to be very detail approached on this one.
So do you have any history in that sort of the real estate side, like personally, or obviously?
Absolutely. So ever since I was a little kid, my brother used to make me read real estate books when I was like 12. Mm-hmm. So I've been a aficionado for my entire life, and I bought my first apartment at like 19, started buying up real estate locally here. And then, the opportunity in Kelowna presented itself, and I knew it was going to be the future. And it kind of happened a little faster than I thought it would, but it's always been a dream to do something like this. Operato, on the other hand, has also been doing it since he was 20, but he's been building them for other people. And so now this is his opportunity to build for himself. And so we bring the expertise of marketing that I can bring to the table from our other businesses. We bring his expertise of building, we put it all together, and we think we have a fantastic opportunity here.
So where does this entrepreneur spirit come from you? Is it family? There's we talked about Venue Kings, now this, and I'm sure there's other things that you're got on the go. Where does that come from?
I think it's just the way you grow up. My dad was a welder, and my mom took care of us. We didn't really have everything, but you had an opportunity to create something, right? I think as an immigrant, your parents come to the country, and their job is to provide an opportunity for the kids to go do something. And so, both Operato and myself, our families came over here, and now it's our job to actually do something. And so I was born in North End, but it's still, you got that mindset, and you gotta challenge and attack. And your sport, I've been, you mentioned earlier, I coach basketball, and I played basketball when I was in high school, and so you get competitive, and then competition. The best competition is business, because in business there's a scoreboard, and so on everything, and so that's kind of how we kind of got here.
Interesting. So, what has the past year taught you? I know you've gone through. Everyone's gone through, and are going through, with the announcements yesterday too. Is that what has it taught you about your business and yourself? Like, what have you learned from the last 12 months?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it hasn't been easy, or it hasn't been fun. I mean, our council meeting, I was on the docket for the only council meeting in like the history of Kelowna that got pushed. Like, and it's because 2 days before the council meeting, they banned all gatherings, even for city council and city hall. So, that was a very stressful time because I thought we were ready to get approval, and this is obviously a really big deal for us.
Yeah.
And so that got pushed a month, and it was an emotional toll. And being told you can't do your job anymore. We didn't do anything wrong. We've won one of Canada's fastest growing companies 5 years in a row. Like, we're doing fine. And then the government says you're not allowed to do your business anymore, and so you have to adapt. And so that was something that we kind of did. We started finding different things that we could sell. We were playing around with stuff in the office. We find different things that we could flip. We're cleaning out. We moved into a new building, and then for me personally, we had a baby in May. So I think that's honestly kept me sane, because he keeps me busy, and he's a fun little guy. So I think a combination of everything has created the opportunity that we have, and so it's led us to this moment. And then it looked real bad there to sell You want to sell 650 units in the middle of COVID? It didn't look like a great thing. But then the interest rates got dropped dramatically, and we've seen people want to get out of the big cities, and they wanted to go to more up and coming cities. And so that's what we have here right now. So right now, in the last 6 months, it went from the Kelowna market is absolutely dead to the Kelowna market is absolutely on fire. And it couldn't have been any polar opposites. And so that's kind of the resiliency you have to have in those bad moments. Hopefully it leads you to some positivity in those good moments.
So what is it for you? What do you feel is the biggest struggle for you today? Like, what's the hardest thing from your day to day for you right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really, I think resiliency is probably staying resilient. I'm a pretty resilient guy, though. Like, I've never really gotten anything the first time I've tried. I've never really been successful right away. It's been failure after failure, and eventually leads to success. So for me, I'm a pretty resilient person just naturally from the amount of failure I've had. But I mean, let's be honest, it's time it's been a lot for a lot of people. I think mental health probably needs to come to the forefront for a lot of these cities. I think cities need to take mental health a little more seriously. I think it needs to be a focal point. I think people need to lend a helping hand. We just had a tragedy in North Van a couple of days ago, and the first thing they did was they allowed people to go get counseling. And I think that's one of the huge things we need. I think having somebody to talk to, having somebody to communicate, I think a lot of that stuff is a big deal. So that's kind of, I think that's something that's important.
No, that's fair. I'm going to take a little bit of a sidestep and come back and ask you the last couple more questions, but just want to get to know a little bit more, park the business side. But what does a day in the life of Anthony look like? What does your day look like? You got a lot on the go, new dad, business is a big development. Busy guy. So what is the day?
Yeah, we had basketball practice this morning. Woke up, hung out with the baby for a little bit, went to practice, got to the office, going through emails, had a meeting to go over floor plans before we got on the phone with you guys. There's a fire down the street. Like, it's just chaos, really. If you want to talk about it, it's pretty much chaos. And you just kind of just go to the next thing. I mean, it's like, I got to get better using my calendar. I think using the calendar is probably something I need to master a little bit better. I'm at like a 2 out of 10 on calendar usage, so we got to get that up to like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. But no, listen, it's just, you can't get overwhelmed. It's just one thing after another. You got to find the next thing, and you got to figure it out, and then on to the next one.
It doesn't sound like you probably have many days off, but if you snuck away from work, what's your favorite thing to do from a day off?
I'd love to go on vacation. I mean, usually we go down to sporting events all the time. Obviously, it's been my career for the last 12 years. We've done sporting events. My wife and I, we travel quite a bit. We're obviously not allowed to travel right now. So whether it's a weekend in LA or something like that, from our business, I got a lot of credit card points, so we use some of those. And but no, honestly, I like the chaos. Coaching keeps me fresh, kid keeps me fresh, wife keeps me fresh. It's like never ending. It's just one thing after another. It's fun. If you enjoy the chaos, it's actually kind of enjoyable.
Yeah, I love living in chaos in business. Actually, I think it's great. What's your favorite place you ever visited? You like to travel. What's really stands out for you? A place that you
Hawaii.
okay.
Yeah, I like Hawaii. It's nice, it's warm. It's the one place I go to, and I don't need to leave. I'm usually pretty good to come back real quick from somewhere, but Hawaii,
Yeah.
you just go there and it's like you can stay here for a bit.
With the announcement yesterday that you can't go in dine in restaurants, so let's give some shout outs to your favorite. What's your favorite restaurants in Vancouver? If you had to go grab dinner tonight and take it home, where would you go?
Yeah, so like my favorite restaurant just got shut down actually, because they don't have a big enough patio area. Giardino, downtown Vancouver. It's probably, it's my favorite place. They don't have a room to put it. You're not gonna put it in the middle of the street. Nook down by where I live. There's a great little pizza place, Nook. They do great stuff. They can do a little bit of a patio, and hopefully the cities allow people to expand their patios. But I mean, people don't appreciate like the stuff is expensive. Like, where do you want me to find these plastic barriers and these wood frame things, and you're going to need to build this out? And it's like, then you need to get a permit for this. You got to get a permit for that. Before you know it, it's like $100,000. It's $200,000. So it's like, what do you want me to charge for this pizza? This is not a $95 pizza, guys. So it's like I think our inflation, people talk in America about inflation right now, I think we're bumping inflation like crazy just by adding all these extra costs to every single business. And I'm sure you guys see it, you guys interview a lot of businesses, but like the extra cost. And I think, that's one of the things that makes Kelowna special, and I said this in my council meeting. The people that work at the city of Kelowna, they're fantastic people. And what they are is people who actually are invested in the city, and they actually live here, and they actually stay at the job. Like the people I was dealing with at the city, they've been there for 10, 20 years, and they like their jobs. They actually enjoy what they do for a living. And so what happens when you get that, instead of what you have in some other cities, is they actually want to make things work, and they want to help you. And they want to do it so that, because they know that if you do your job, that their community is better. And so, Kelowna is in a unique spot where you have some very good people at City Hall, and you have some very good people on council, and you have some very good people in the planning department. And it really does make it so that you can keep an affordability level. There was a thing that came out. I was listening to Mike Campbell on the radio, and he went through the different cities and what it costs to build something and get something approved the other day. And Kelowna and Victoria were the two most affordable places to build. And so because of that, ironically, it's weird how this happens. If you make it easy and affordable for people to build, Kelowna and Victoria are getting the most people moving there because people want to get out and they want to go somewhere where they can enjoy themselves. So that's one of the reasons I think, Kelowna has done very well.
Before we sign off, I do want to ask you about your involvement with basketball. I see that you run a program involved in a program called VK Basketball.
Yeah.
You coach as well. It's a non-for-profit basketball club. Can you talk about how that program helps athletes?
Absolutely. So when I was growing up, basketball was like $80.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't 8,000. It was 80. And you would pay the $80 and then you would go, and it would be fun, and it would be cheap, and you could actually play. And no one was really turned away. So even if you didn't have the 80, you could do it. So when we started, making a little bit of money, I wanted to give back to the community. And my dream was always, let's create a program where we don't have to charge for stuff. We can just give it to people, and we'll get some donations. And, one of our big donors was Ani, another development company. They have great founders there at Ani, great people. And so they chipped in. We had some local realtor, our realtor, Ralph McGlary, locally, he chipped in. We had a whole bunch of people chip in. And so what ended up happening was we could create this fantastic experience for kids, whether when we travel to Chicago, travel to Los Angeles, we travel to Oregon, we travel to all over the place. Yeah. And we could give kids the experience of playing at the highest level possible. And they didn't have to pay an arm and a leg to do it. And so we kind of took that and we put it together, and we found the best coaches. There's a lot of politics in coaching, just like there is in a lot of different things. And so my thing was like, the only prerequisite is quality. So yeah. If you're a quality coach, male, female, couldn't care less. If you can coach, we want you there, because the kids deserve the best coaching. And so that's what we've done. We've kind of put together a coaching staff of absolutely great people, and they've come together and they help make our athletes better. So it's a fun thing to do for sure.
Awesome. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining me. I know you're probably busy and I know you don't use your calendar. You probably have something coming up real soon.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I appreciate you taking the time, and people can register at waterstreetbythepark.com. We've had an unbelievable response so far, and I really appreciate you having me out to talk about it.
I look forward to seeing Water Street come to life, and thank you for joining me today. I really enjoyed the discussion. So everyone have a great rest of your day, and thank you for tuning into Business Matters. Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, Rob.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We would like to thank your sponsor, Valley First, a division of First West Credit Union and a member-owned financial cooperative serving the Okanagan, Similkameen, and Thompson regions. They offer a wide range of banking and investment services for individuals and families. Valley First also has a talented business and commercial team to provide the expertise, products, and services local businesses need to grow and thrive.